Morning, Steve Free in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Well, Thursdays are normally U.S. export sales days, and we'll be watching to see if there's another good week for beans. As far as corn and wheat, they continue to be relatively slow, so we'll see how that all unfolds. Yesterday, the funds bought beans, oil, and they sold meal, corn, and wheat. What was interesting that in all three, open interest jumped, especially in the corn. So we'll see if the funds are adding to their corn position as far as their net short, or if there's any pricing underneath the marketplace at these lower price levels. Export sales we're expecting to be somewhere around 1 million tons of beans. Last week it was almost 3 million tons. 500 to 700,000 tons of corn. Last week was 300, and 300 to 500,000 tons of wheat. Last week it was 400. We've noted that we're starting to get more and more private estimates for the U.S. crop yield. USDA's out October 12th. We had one group that said the yield's going to be 171.3 for corn. That's up from their 171 previous, and 49.3 in the beans, and their previous number is 48.8. USDA is basically 170 and 50. So that's at least an estimate in corn, a little bit higher than what we've been hearing. We also note that from a weather standpoint, U.S. should get some good rains as far as the Midwest is concerned over the next 48 hours, and that'll help navigation. We also have a tropical depression that's going to spin out of the Gulf and go up maybe in Alabama into the southeast, and so that could also help some of the areas that are dry, like in Indiana and Ohio, with some precip that could help navigation there also. South America, northern Brazil stays dry, could be offering some support underneath the bean market. It's interesting that the GFS or American model has rain in central Brazil next week, while the European model does not. So we're off to some battles like we've had in the U.S. this year between those two models. There is some talk that once China comes back from holiday next week, they've got some penned up soybean demand and may come in and buy some soybeans. So we'll see if that kind of offers some support. So in the beans, we have the battle between harvest and a bigger supply globally versus uncertain Brazil weather, and China may be coming in to buy. So that could keep us in this trading range. Doubt if we can get over 980 on the November beans unless there's a weather problem in South America. Corn's stuck in the trading range, held contract lows yesterday. May have been a little bit of short covering going into maybe the lack of farmers selling or some good domestic demand. But domestically, the basis is still pretty weak, reflecting that the supply is probably going to offer some resistance above the market. EU just announced a higher wheat crop, higher wheat exports, and so that is one factor along with Russia that keeps the lid on wheat prices. As always, these are my thoughts and not those of ADM or ADM Investor Services. Have a safe and profitable trading day.